Have you ever come across people who claim to be great communicators? They look very confident, use a fancy vocabulary, and are easily able to converse with people in a large crowd. But despite all the confidence and the things that they have to share, it is plainly obvious that they aren't as impactful as they claim to be. Hi, I'm Gurleen Kaur, the founder of Zenith School of Leadership and the creator of 5 Inner Intelligence Framework. I have spent the last 13 years creating influential leaders by helping working professionals, corporate leaders, and entrepreneurs in developing a holistic skill set that allows them to join the league of the 2% achievers. And out of all the skills I teach, communication intelligence happens to be at the top of what I focus on. And the only reason for that is this. Communication is an indispensable skill, irreplaceable, something that you use in every aspect of your existence. And while some people dwell in the illusion that they're intelligent communicators, only a handful of people out there are. The distinction between great communicators and intelligent communicators is clear. While you would find great communicators rate their skill set based on external factors and influences, like they would talk about how good they are, the throw of their voice, their body language, how they speak. Wherein we will see when you're talking about intelligent communicators, they understand that communication is a holistic process and it involves internal and external balance. Here are 5 signs of intelligent communicators that are rare to find and difficult to hack your way through. Don't miss out in the end of this video for some bonus secrets that I'm going to share with you. So what is the first one? We've all heard the word self-awareness. So true intelligence in communication lies in knowing what your own blind spots are. Don't get me wrong. Most people claim that they're self-aware and that they know what are their strengths and their weaknesses. And you may be even right. You may be even very accepting and very reflective as a person. But intelligence in your communication doesn't come about until you're able to dig deep into your own blind spots. Now, there are things about you that even you don't have access to, even you are not able to see. And what's more is that these blind spots are not just limited to your weaknesses, but in fact, they're also limited to your strengths. Intelligent communicators are easily able to identify what about them irks other people. But more than that, they also know what strengths of theirs have been hidden from plain eye, and they can be used as a powerful weapon to smoothly navigate through difficult situations. What is point number 2? Avoiding the not to-dos. Well, we've all been very well educated and trained to work in the professional world in a similar manner. Most people have been taught to operate in the corporate world with one mantra: the should-dos, the to-do list. Everybody knows that they should speak confidently, they should sustain eye contact, they should smile while talking, they should interact well with people. But how often do we focus on the not to-dos? Intelligent communicators know that while the to-dos may construct good communication, the not to-dos have the power to destroy everything that you have built through effective communication. Look at it this way. Let's say you maintain eye contact with an individual you met during a networking event. You speak confidently, you ask the right questions, you tick all the right boxes. Great, right? But here's the catch. While you were maintaining the eye contact, being your confident self, what you were also doing was constantly maybe interrupting them, looking at your phone, responding to emails or texts every 5 minutes now, here and then. Now tell me, where do you stand? Correct. Now what's the third one? Constructing the right internal communication. Would you agree with me when I say that before we actually speak our thoughts out loud, we have already sampled what we're going to say in our minds? Like we prepare in our mind what we're going to speak before we actually utter those words. What most people don't realize is that while you're making this internal conversation, you let the clutter you have gathered through the day or through a specific conversation affect the way you interact. And as a result, it also affects the way people perceive you as a leader and as a communicator. But intelligent communicators, they're aware of their internal environment. Now, what I mean when I say this is not that they're just self-aware, but rather that they know exactly what triggers them and in what situations. They use this knowledge to handle their triggers, shift their perspective, their mindset, understand where others are coming from, and then they approach these situations constructively, such that the situations can never get the better of them. Rather, they're able to transform any situation, conversation, conflicts, because they have worked on their internal communication. Fourth, holistic listening. A very common word, right? I don't think I need to say this, but I think we all agree that listening is not the same as hearing, comprehending, or even interpreting. But what this really means is that if you've been listening just with your ears, you've missed out on a lot. Listening is a holistic process and it involves much more than just your ears. Intelligent communicators, they observe and listen to the abundance of cues that surround them. They listen beyond words, meaning that they can decipher what the other person actually meant to say beyond the obvious. They can listen to what the person is feeling and where those words are coming from. Fifth, responsibility, not reactivity. It is common to say or do things in the heat of the moment and then regret them instantly. It is also very easy to feel carried away during conflicts, difficult conversations, and while receiving harsh feedback. So when we don't like certain words coming from other people, getting affected is pretty common. Now, intelligent communicators intimately know and study the situations that trigger an explosive storm of emotions for them. And as a result of that, for everybody else involved, they understand that what is going to impact them, and in reverse, it's going to impact the people around them. While they know they can't control what happens on the outside, they surely know how to diffuse their boiling emotions and cool off. They know how to let off the steam. They assume the driver's seat in communication and they respond thoughtfully instead of allowing their emotions to take over themselves. Now, I am a person of my word. So as I promised, here are 3 bonus secrets that you must know if you want to become an intelligent communicator. So before I move on, please remember that if you found this video insightful, I would want you to subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, and also click on the bell icon and share it with someone who you think needs this. So here are the 3 bonuses. The first one, keep it short and simple. Some people, including really amazing orators, they start with point A, then they go to point C, talk a bit about point E, cover point B, repeat point A, and then talk about point D. And the result is what? An audience full of yawning and zoned out listeners, completely confused what the speaker wants to say. Now, in a recent study, it was discovered that the average attention span of a human being, it has dropped down to roughly 8 seconds. That's even less than that of a goldfish. Now, because intelligent communicators are adaptable, they package their message in a way that is short and crisp to keep the audience engaged at all points of time. This means they know how to make the audience engaged with them, and they understand what the audience wants to listen, and they keep them curious about your perspective. The second bonus that I want to give you is, and this is really important, don't focus on just giving raw facts to people. Focus on building the connection with people. It is true, facts and data, they play a very crucial role in helping you establish your credibility as a speaker. What is not talked about or what people don't understand is that you can't make people listen to you just on the basis of facts and raw data. The sole reason for that is the absence of true, authentic connection. When you just throw random data at people, it makes them feel you're just trying to show and build your authority. They don't find that connection with you. Anybody can stand in front of an audience and speak stating facts and data. What is rather hard is to accomplish that while you're speaking, you're remembered for what you said. And that is what intelligent communicators do. They know that numbers mean nothing if there are no emotions attached to them. Steve Jobs, despite being heavily involved in technology, he was still able to take people on a journey with him. He never kept his vision to himself. He shared it with people. And that is what was the biggest difference. He stood out because he always believed in building a connection with the people out there. The products he made, he wanted people to let those products be an extension of them. So focus on building a connection with people. Now, bonus 3, and the most important, crucial one, aim to become an outcome-driven communicator. See, every communication for an intelligent communicator, it has to begin with an outcome in mind. Look at it like this. Even in a conversation as simple as asking your partner what they want for dinner is targeted towards getting an outcome. So you want to achieve something by the end of the conversation, right? So most often people get frustrated because they feel that they're losing control of a conversation that they initiated. And it is so easy for other people to take control from their hands. And by the end of the conversation, they find themselves agreeing to something that they never wanted to. Well, you know, that will never be an intelligent communicator, because they're always crystal clear about the outcome that they want by the end of every conversation. They're able to craft an entire maneuver, keeping in mind the outcome that they want, who they're dealing with. They know how to blend emotions, facts, rationale in a way that gets to the other person efficiently. While there is no such thing as perfection, but certain methodologies and techniques, when they're applied in the right way, they result in helping you build stronger bonds, lesser conflicts, and higher chances of persuading others. This enhances any individual's overall leadership, executive authority, and the kind of engagement that she can make during conversations. Now, those are the 8 signs of an intelligent communicator. I want you to tell me which of these signs do you think you have the most, and drop them in the comments below for me. And I want to say something by the end of this. If you found this video insightful, I want you to subscribe. There is one way that you can keep getting such insights out of me. I want you to hit the thumbs up button, click on the bell icon, and I want you to comment below. And also, be kind to share it with someone who you think really needs this. Be sure to check out the other videos as well, and I will see you in the next one.